I'm Nelson Williams for GameOgre.com. There comes a time in every gamer's life when you have to sit back, take a deep breath, relax the muscles of your neck and shoulders, close your eyes, and just let the horrible anime wash over you. If you're looking for a fast-action MMO, that moment comes when you load up Dragon Nest. Horrible anime is a good description of Dragon Nest, from the character designs, to the world, to the weapons and armor, and even how the characters talk. I don't know why, but characters in severely anime games just seem casual to the point of insolence, and cheerfully say things to each other that would get any sane person punched in the throat. Once you get past the 12-year-old bodies with big-eyed baby heads up top, there is some quality gaming to be found here. The fighting system in Dragon Nest is real-time, running on your real ability to aim and dodge. Characters have special moves that let them charge into combat or dive away from incoming pokebits. If you're into leading on enemies and setting up big combos to knock down the entire horde at once, Dragon Nest delivers. If you're looking for a deep story and immersive world building, well, near as I could tell, here's the basics of the Dragon Nest plot. Long ago, dragons got up to no good and had to be smacked down, once again proving that all troubles in any given fantasy world have a flappy lizard at the bottom. The heroes who laid down the smacking broke up and retired, disappearing into the pages of history. Now, there's something new and dark on the horizon, with a prophecy about a red-haired girl who must save the world, and oh, guess what? You have to go find her. It's like they pulled the lever on the fantasy plot machine and the wheels spun around to Dragon Redhead. Not that any of it matters in the game. You'd have to read the quest descriptions for that, and who has the time? Dragon Nest is unwavering in its loyalty to the fantasy MMO traditions, so you can expect to grab quests from NPCs, grab loot from gutted monsters, and level up your character to grab powers. There are a few nice touches to break up the usual game though. Quest tracking slaps a little arrow up near the quest name on the side of your screen, which would normally be meh, but in this case is quite handy because it gives each quest its own arrow. This lets you see all at once what quests collect in the same place, so you can hammer them out with an efficient quickness. Another little quality of life improvement is that the local town guards don't just tell you where to find whatever NPC or service, they warp you straight over, blur effect and all. Another quality of life improvement is that for an anime game, the leveling curve doesn't make me want to claw my eyes out. It only took a few hours to chew through the starter zone in 10 levels, which seems pretty good and gave me a decent sense of progress. Likewise, the drop rate for goodies from monsters seems to be about right, although a little heavy on the trash crafting materials. Just set fire to your inventory every few dungeon runs and you'll be fine. Crafting seemed a little confusing though, because the interface looks like it wants a bunch of goodies, but it ran anyway without them. The improvements to my gear were notable, but not every chunk of gear could be upgraded, which is a shame because I found myself discarding my upgraded and righteous random drops to favor the plot gear that built into a named set. Once you've got that gear and either built it up or broke it down to your liking, it's time to go out and earn those coppers. You'll do this by going off into the field, an instanced area outside of town through a portal. The field is a little zone where plot can happen, and leads off with portals of its own into the dungeons proper. Calling them dungeons is a little odd when you're running through a mountain pass under the open sky, but whatever curtains you put over the window, it's still a linear corridor filled with scripted enemies. The dungeons have difficulty levels, and you can run them with up to 4 players, which is helpful if you have friends you can trust around. Pug players, the random slime and mold of the gaming community, are good for little more than vacuuming loot and knocking the baddies out of sword range with their helpful AoEs. If you do make it through a dungeon with your corporeal form intact, you'll get a rating from Suck to Awesome. That rating is your key to riches because it unlocks more difficult versions of the dungeon and produces higher quality items for your post-slaughter lootapalooza. Let's see how Dragon Nest plays. Here we are in Dragon Nest. This is my character, the Sorceress, the magic user of the bunch. Say hello. And we are in the town of Carderock Pass, a nice little mountain town just off the airship stop. One heck of an airship, isn't it? Here we are at the Crystal Stream. This is a staging area. The game calls it a field. Here you can find a job board for little mini missions. This is an extractor. It takes junky items and turns them into crafting materials. It's a bit spooky to use. Let me turn it on and show you. Activate the extractor. Holy crap, that thing transforms. It's a scary looking thing. I do not want to stick my hand in there. Boom. And here we have our quest giver. Let's talk to this fellow.
I was waiting for you.
Quest. The secret melody in progress. You'll find her deep within the assassin's den.
I'll stay and keep watch here.
Alright, so where's the assassin's den? Well, our quest arrow is leading us up over this direction. To this portal here. Raiders Rock, huh? Well, looks like we're going in. Shunk. Oh, look at that. Monsters. Oh, and they're shooting at me. That didn't take long. Eat my fire. Eat my poison. Mine now. Why yes, this is one of those rare games where they actually put stuff in the barrels and boxes. Mine now. As you can tell, I have a variety of attacks. The mage specializes in AoE attacks. But I do have this kind of dinky physical attack which I can charge up. And of course, bad guys leave loot all over the place, including in their barrels. Oh, let's get some mana. Chug, chug, chug. And here's the next. Haha. I do not know what they're doing, but I don't want them to do it. Okay, clearing out the monsters opens up the portal to the next area. Oh yeah, some of the stuff the monsters drop isn't good for you. Rotting fruit basket. Yeah, I think we'll pass that by. Anyhow, as I was saying earlier, you can see that I have a variety of attacks. I have this, which is my basic attack. I have this, which is an offhand attack. That comes from the weapon I'm using, which, as you can tell, is a puppet. These are my spells proper. Including a spell that lets me beat things up. Let's see, we left these guys behind us. Let's fix that mistake. Okay, and let's clear these guys out. Have some poison. Oh, lucky us, they summon friends. Good thing we have fire, huh? I'm gonna guess those are our evil elves.
Over here.
Get away from me. Okay, that nails one. But we still have the boss. Let's get out of there. That is not a good place for my camera. Yes, backflip directly into my fire. That'll work well. Haha. Have some poison. And down she goes. And now we have a couple seconds to thieve off as much as we possibly can. And let's see how we did. A rank. Dragon Nest isn't going to be kicking the flag off Mount Warcraft anytime soon, but what it does well. If all you want from your free-to-play games is to get together with a few friends and bash orcs, Dragon Nest will meet you halfway with a good combat system and enough scenery along the way to make it worth the trip. You just won't be staying long, since there's little here to care about outside the dungeons. Your character isn't unique, just one of 4, and clones will haunt your days and dreams. The towns and lands of Dragon Nest are generic, and there's no real attachment to any patch of ground. Even the factions are largely forgettable, with no real reason for there to even be factions in the first place. You won't even want to stick around and roleplay, since all the characters look like children, and that gets seriously creepy, seriously quick. If you're looking for a night out instead of a lifelong relationship, give Dragon Nest a try. There ain't nothing wrong with fast, multiplayer arcade action, and you'll find plenty of that here. Just don't stare into those wide anime eyes too long. Let the anime pass over and through you. Where the anime has gone, there will be nothing. Only you will remain. Then punch the sorceress trainer in the throat.